I think I've been tricked. What do you mean? At Hong Yeshen's self-talk, the brothel keeper looked at him with a puzzled expression. The chief inspector of the Hao clan was indeed a terrifying position. He had a strong authority to inspect and punish the members of the Hao clan. It was not a place that could be climbed simply by having strong martial arts. Only those who had an excellent brain and broad insight to search for the truth could become the chief inspector. This was because the person who handled the most extensive and deep information in Jianghu was the chief inspector of the Hao clan. So it was natural to find it hard to believe that Hong Yeshen had been tricked by someone. A dark shadow fell on Hong Yeshen's eyes. He remembered the moment when he first met Piawul. At that time, none of his negotiations worked for Piawul. The moment he revealed who he was, Piawul reacted immediately. His bloody force, resolute hands, and even a creepy eyes that seemed to penetrate the soul. Hong Yeshen was overwhelmed by Piawul's presence and could not resist. Moreover, Piawul even threatened to kill everyone if the Hao clan approached him. So Hong Yeshen was extremely wary, defining Piawul as someone who he could never communicate with. Hong Yeshen's assessment of Piawul reached its peak when Piawul entered the Water Lily Pavilion. But the unexpected visit of Piawul completely destroyed his prior assessment of him. In particular, he became very excited when Piawul obediently accepted the deal he had proposed. It was as if Piawul's resilient nature that was never going to collapse was an illusion given how it had been torn down. So, he quickly accepted Piawul's proposal. Until then, he hadn't thought of it as strange. In any case, he was satisfied with just opening the door to a conversation with a partner who seemed incapable of negotiating. However, as his excitement subsided, he realized that he had not gained anything as a result. Deal? He's the only one who benefited from the information he received from me. He actually hasn't given me anything. He only reassured me by saying he had no ambition, but he might have kept his true feelings hidden. All of this was a picture he drew. It was scary, no, terrifying. Maybe Piawul had been painting this scenario from the moment he first saw him. In that brief encounter, he might have known who he was and found a way to use him. As a bonus, he gets to take the courtesans of the Water Lily Pavilion. It was said that courtesans lined up to enter the plum room where Piawul is still staying. Piawul obtained information from Hong Yeshen without paying a penny, and was spending a wonderful time at the Water Lily Pavilion. It was like being ripped off all the way to the bottom. He's not just a clever fox. A bear with strength and intelligence, but has there ever been such a handsome bear? So is he not a bear? What? This stream of consciousness. Hong Yeshen shook his head to shake off his useless thoughts. Beside him, the brothel keeper was looking at him with a puzzled expression. In her eyes, Hong Yeshen looked like a madman talking to himself. Hong Yeshen opened his mouth. Tell the members of the Hao clan in Chengdu to monitor the progress of the 7 stars. All right. The brothel keeper bowed her head deeply and replied. Hong Yeshen's eyes deepened even more. 7 stars. Loches of Jianghu. ******. All 7 warriors of the 7 stars have gathered in one place. They rented the entire VIP room on the 2nd floor of a particular guest room. All kinds of food were piled up like a mountain on the table where they sat in a circle. The 7 warriors of the 7 stars ate the food laid out on the table without speaking. In particular, the 4th member, Jie Wung Piang, and the youngest, Cho Samcheek, ate the food at a frightening speed. In an instant, the large chicken leg was left with only its bones, and food debris piled up around them. Even Yo Suliang, a woman, ate more than most men. So they removed all the food on the table. Sa Hyokyung said while sucking the grease off his fingers through her mouth, Now, time is running out. We must find him. Don't worry, I've confirmed that he has entered Chengdu. It seems that he is scared and is hiding somewhere, but it will be easy to find him in a week. The person who answered was Zhang Sanwei, the 2nd member of the 7 stars. The nickname of the Zhang Sanwei was the poison-bellied sword. He boasted of an insidious mind and excellent intelligence, like his nickname, which means that he had a sword hidden in his stomach. Sa Hyokyang's gaze turned to Yo Suliang. What about him? He's quiet. Are you sure? Yes. I went with the dwarf and tested him out, but he didn't seem interested in what we do. Keep an eye on his movements. I don't think the rumors about him are false. Gamilhe was astonished at Sa Hyokyang's words. Then you mean the rumors are true? The fact that the Qingqing and Amei sect suffered a lot of damage because of him. I cross-checked the information with the warriors of the 100 Flower Room and Golden Gates, so I'm sure. It's not easy to believe. I was like that too, but the rumors are all true. I don't know how such a being was born, but there is a monster that denies common sense in Chengdu. So what should we do? Are you just going to avoid him like this? No matter how strong he is, if we all gather our strength, we will be able to handle him easily. It's a matter of efficiency. If we can solve a problem without provoking him, there's no reason to clash. Okay. If that's how it is. Gamilhe agreed. Sa Hyokyang's gaze turned to Yo Suliang. Make sure you keep a tight hold on him so he won't get involved in our matters. Ho ho. In that case, leave it to me. When Yo Suliang gave a bewitching smile, the Iron Dwarf became restless. Oh, it's not even necessary for you to go as far as distinguish between public and private. Didn't you almost crash with him again the other day? I'm sorry, leader. It's a quest from a sect in the east, not anywhere else. If we successfully complete this quest, we'll be able to step forward as a group in the region beyond Hunan. Sa Hyokyang's eyes were full of ambition. The 7 Stars was not as powerful as its reputation, because it was made up of only 7 people. Although the individual's forces are strong, they were only active in Hunan because they are not supported by any financial or military power. But if they successfully complete this commission, the client will fill in the missing part. So, we have to catch him and go back. If that's not possible, we have to kill him and completely destroy the evidence. Keep in mind what I'm saying. This is a great opportunity, but if it goes wrong, it's a shortcut to our total destruction. Yes. I understand, the 6 brothers answered in unison. Only then did Sa Hyokyang smile with satisfaction. He trusted his brothers. Although they were born on different dates, they trusted and depended on each other enough to swear to die on the same day. No one will be able to stop us. Since the 6 brothers and 1 sister were united, they were not afraid of anything. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Pyoul used the plum room as if it were his own room. Even though he was locked in the room, no one said anything. In the meantime, Cho Hyang, the top courtesan of the Water Lily Pavilion, lived in a plum room and took care of Pyoul. Many courtesans tried to aim for Pyoul, but most of them were blocked by Cho Hyang, so they could not achieve their goals. Pyoul was reading a book, while leaning against a soft blanket. Cho Hyang was sitting modestly beside him. When Pyoul opened his mouth slightly, Cho Hyang hurriedly put a piece of fruit she had cut in front of him. How does it taste? Good. I specifically asked the merchant to bring it in this morning. It's fresh and tastes good. Cho Hyang acted coquettishly and rubbed her chest against Pyoul's forearm. Anyone could see how hard she had fallen for Pyoul. In fact, Cho Hyang was deeply in love with Pyoul. It felt like her soul was satisfied just by looking at him. She was mesmerized by his beautiful appearance and skin that rivals a woman, and deep red eyes that seemed to see through everything. The brothel keeper and the chief inspector's warnings were no longer in her mind. All she had in her mind was Pyoul. How can I make this guy look and embrace me? That's all she had been thinking about all day. If Pyoul showed her even a small smile, she was even willing to sell her soul. But Pyoul remained indifferent, never showing a smile. Of course, it was okay. It was both okay and scary at the same time. After entering the plum room, Pyoul did nothing after grabbing a book. It started when he accidentally found a music sheet that was stuck in a corner of the plum room. The courtesans had to be good at the 4 arts 1, so they always lived with related and relevant books nearby. The music sheet that Pyoul was reading was one of those books. The melody often played by the prostitutes was written on the sheet music. Pyeolwul fell in love with the score as if it was fate. He was deeply engrossed with the book, as if he was desperately trying to fill the gap in his knowledge. Pyeolwul was an angler. He was hungry for everything he had never done before. He greedily sought out knowledge and female bodies. The morals and views of the world had no effect on him. What he needed was to satisfy his immediate hunger. Tack. Finally, Pyeolwul closed the booklet. Finished reading. A faint anticipation appeared on Cho Hyang's face. Since Pyeolwul had finished reading all the books, it was now her turn. But her wish did not come true. Pit. With a gentle sound, Cho Hyang's eyes suddenly lost focus. Pyeolwul frowned and carefully embraced and laid the soft female body of Cho Hyang, which had fallen to the side. At that moment, an old Taoist appeared in the room. He was an old Taoist with a bright red face and a bright smile like a child. The old Taoist looked around the room with a curious expression. It's a room with the right flavor. How can you live in a place like this all day? It would be better than living in the mountains with nothing but grass. Fahaha. That's true for you, but for some, life which is like a paradise will look infinitely boring. By the way, do you know who I am? I don't know. But how come you're so calm? If I felt a little bit of hostility, I would have definitely reacted first. You are such a crazy child. It is understandable to some extent why Mujongjin failed. So you're from the Qingqing sect, too. Nodo is said to be a dead leaf. It is not a private residence for Mujong. It doesn't look like you're here to take revenge. What is your purpose? Pyeolwul asked indifferently without a single expression of surprise. Go Yeopjin couldn't help but admire the attitude of Pyeolwul. Go Yeopjin was a master of the Qingqing sect with the highest position. To the outsiders, Mujongjin was regarded as the best swordsman in the Qingqing sect, but in reality, it was actually Go Yeopjin who held the title as the best swordsman in the Qingqing sect. It's just that he hid a long time ago and is not well known. Although his name is not widely known, people often freeze when standing in front of him just because he is the longest-running member of the Qingqing sect. Go Yeopjin was the spiritual or emotional pillar of the Qingqing sect. Even with such an existence in front of him, Pyeolwul did not waver at all. Because of you, the Qingqing sect has been ruined. Do you know that? Should I? Pyeolwul questioned back. At that moment, Go Yeopjin was speechless. No one had ever spoken to him like this before, and no one had ever responded properly. It was such an unfamiliar experience that it felt rather fresh. Still, they became a mess because of you. Shouldn't you be aware of it? How is that my fault? Are you going to deny what you have done? No. I have no intention of denying what I did. However, it was self-inflicted that the Qingqing sect was humiliated and had a bad atmosphere. It's not my fault that Mujongjin learned magic. Hugh. Go Yeopjin let out a sigh. A sad expression was revealed on his face. If Mujongjin had been defeated in a fair fight with Pyeolwul, the sect would have enough justification to try and challenge him again. Even if the world scolded them for being cowardly, they were competent enough to handle it. The problem is that it has been revealed that Mujongjin has learned magic. In addition, the elder of the Qingqing sect, a prestigious sect in Jianghu, mastered magic and ran wild. Of course, the reputation of the Qingqing sect would plummet, and even the smallest justification to punish Pyeolwul was lost. Rather than seeking revenge, he came to a point where he had to worry about the survival of the Qingqing sect. It was all because of Pyeolwul. In a way, the Qingqing sect was the victim. Through the execution of the Amei sect's assassination contract, they lost Wu Gunsang, who would lead Qingqing sect, and suffered a fatal blow to their prestige. Virtue is lost due to the lust for honor, and knowledge is beyond contention. It was said that virtue is swept away by lust for honor, and wisdom is created by fighting. The virtues of the Qingqing sect were swept away by the desire of Mujongjin, and Pyeolwul has gained wisdom as he fights over and over again. Even before coming here, Go Yeopjin thought that Pyeolwul was simply a natural fighter. But the moment he saw Pyoul's eyes, he changed his mind. Pyoul was not simply a warrior with strong martial arts. His eyes were so deep that he couldn't understand what was inside. It may have been that way from the beginning, but as he continued to fight, it was clear that he had acquired a stronger intellect than any other. Go Yeopjun sighed softly. Hugh. My original intention is actually to kill you and restore the honor of the Qingqing sect.